been more than 300 murders every year for the past 5 years, even though the city's budget cuts allocates nearly $500 million a year to the police department.
You know, crime has always been the #1 concern for voters in Baltimore City as they try to decide who they're going to vote for in the next mayor's race. So to do the top 6 candidates in this race have any ideas on cutting the amount of money that the city spends on policing? Christian Schaefer on Good Morning Maryland asked that question.
Can policing in Baltimore City be done for less money than what's currently allocated in the budget? It's such a big number that it leaves less for pretty much everything else.
When I was mayor, we were able to reduce crime as well as lower the overtime budget and the police department's budget. Everybody in this process, because of what we're going through, is going to have to take a hit. But we also have to look creatively and utilize other police forces to help us in this effort.
We spent $48 million on police overtime, in part because we don't have enough police. We can actually, at a lower cost, have more police officers. We're just being really reckless and irresponsible about this. We've put out a plan that pledges to get murders below 200 without mass incarceration, without mandatory minimums, but does it in a way that shows that prosecutors and police can work together.
Under my leadership, we have cut the police overtime significantly. And before anybody started talking about police overtime, when I was the budget chair, when I was a council person, and as the council president, that's one of the things that I constantly was talking about. Why are we paying all this overtime to our police department and crime is still at the same rate? So we have reduced that overtime in a great way. And we will continue to reduce overtime.
I don't know if it's a responsible conversation at this point in time where Baltimore is in the midst of a pandemic, a world emergency, yet our murders are still outpacing last year at this time when we weren't in a pandemic. That should scare the crap out of anyone. So when you look at where we need to go, reducing the police budget might not be one of the things that we should be looking at on the front end.
We need to bring our spending on public safety down. And I think we can do that through better management, more leadership, better use of technology, and redeploying police officers to work in communities to reduce crime before it even begins. So the answer is yes. I don't know that we can do it overnight, but that is the goal because we've got other priorities in the city that we need to get after.
We can have more efficiency, more effectiveness in that department to make sure that we can build a plan of how that department's budget can responsibly over a period of time go down so the school system, rec and parks, and our health department can go up. Has to happen because we can't keep budgeting the way we have in Baltimore. We have to reimagine the way we budget. We have been investing in the failure of Baltimore's young people instead of investing in their limitless promising.
We have much longer versions of the candidates' responses to that question about the budget for the city police department up on the website right now. We set up a special section where you can click on that question or any one that you're interested in, and then the response from the candidate or candidates you'd like to hear from. Just go to wmar2news.com/2020 Mayor's Race.